What's up, everybody? This is Out of the Ice.
So, I didn't know that we were recording this episode until literally yesterday.
Yeah, the next time we're doing a podcast is around the time of Groundhog's Day. And since there's a Bill Murray movie that's really popular is in pop culture named Groundhog's Day that we were going to get to anyway, I figured might as well be today.
I mean, and thinking about it with pop culture, because people will refer like the sameness over and over and over as a Groundhog's Day. So it's definitely lasted the test of time.
Yep.
I'm trying to think, what do I know about this movie? Bill Murray, I know that.
Yeah. And let me tell you, this whole year, for me, for the most part, except for when horrible tragedies were happening, was a whole fucking year of Groundhog's Day.
Yeah.
So whatever, let's do it. I keep saying this year. I'm not used to it not being 2020 anymore.
Yeah.
Especially because we're not out of it yet. We're not out of the thick of it.
It's not going to feel...
It's trying to pull us back in.
It's probably not going to feel like 2021 until like 2023.
I hope not, because that means that we're still fighting the virus for that long.
Well, yeah, I guess... I'm
hoping it'll at least feel like 2021 by April. Because we have a trip in June.
I'm just talking about like the general sense of like sadness and dread. That was all, that basically was the emotion of 2020.
Oh, that'll never go away. But anyway, wounds like that, they always say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but no.
Oh.
No, it's just a forever hurt on your heart. But anyway, so Groundhog's Day, what you know about it?
I know that Bill Murray is in it. I know that pretty much the whole gist of the movie. Oh, he's a reporter, I think. And I also know that basically the same day keeps repeating over and over and over again. I have no idea how this is happening or how it gets resolved, but...
Now, why do you think it's called Groundhog's Day?
Because it's taking place around Groundhog's Day?
Interesting take. So what else do you think you could surmise or theorize about it? Don't be afraid to go weird.
The spirit of the groundhog, maybe I don't know. Maybe the groundhog senses that there's some emptiness and sadness in Bill Murray's life. So it has some weird magical bululus that keep rewinding the time over and over and over until he gets some sort of epiphany of like, oh, I'm sad. This is how I should be living my life. Make the best possible outcome for that day, and then whoosh. It's February 3rd.
So a magic Punxsutawney Phil. Okay. Anything else?
I'm trying to think of other things.
Fanfic writers, get this down.
I can't think of anything else weird because I'm thinking about like general movie beats. There'll of course be a love interest. Maybe, I don't know. I always think in movies... I don't know. There's love interest in movies, so probably there he might get frustrated that like maybe he has to do intros over and over and over again. Just slowly, gradually, he's like, oh shit, I'm kind of into her, but she barely knows who I am. I've had like 227 days with her. Shit.
Okay, so that's 50 First Dates.
I have seen that movie.
So I guess we'll see if 50 First Dates is either just what was on your mind or, like most of Adam Sandler's films, he stole it from something better.
Oh.
All right. Anything else?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head, no.
Okay.
Maybe the groundhog's just a little asshole.
Little asshole.
Yeah.
Okay. How much do you think the groundhog gets screen time?
I give it like 5 minutes tops.
5 minutes tops?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it uses its time wisely.
Okay. Now, here's the question. Do you think the groundhog will talk? Like, how magical is this Punxsutawney Phil?
He's not going to talk, but not because he can't, because he just wants to be a little shit.
All right. Maybe he says, like, one word at the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe almost looking over at the audience and saying said word.
And just says, gotta go fast. Turns out this took place in the Sonic X universe.
Oh, God, no.
It's all one big cannon.
But yeah, those are my theories
all right,
and takes.
Punxsutawney Phil in close-ups, live animal or animatronic?
Wait, what?
Live animal or animatronic? Because, like, if they have animals in movies do things, they'll either CGI it, but this is from the 80s, or they'll have like a puppet or an animatronic or something.
Oh, this is going to be a puppet.
Okay. Yeah, you think there's going to be... Is it going to like grab stuff with its hands?
Probably.
Okay. And then trying to think of other stuff you touched. Love interest. What's her whole deal going to be about? I like this idea where I just grill Kat on what she thinks this movie is going to be.
Oh, yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
I hate this, but this is fun.
Yeah, this might become a thing.
Oh, God. I was going to say, this is probably very stereotypical, but I'm not expecting any groundbreaking writing for this female love interest in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more expecting of she is a... What's the word I'm looking... She is a busy woman, gotta work on her career.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really about it.
Okay. All right. And how do you think, like you said earlier that you think like he has to, learn how he should be living his life, which is very judgy of this groundhog who spends most of the day in a cave all year round. But yeah, so he's sagely helping this human get on the right track, like a fucking groundhog Christmas carol.
With no thought of like the psychological horror that he must be feeling by like the 27th.
Because of course Punxsutawney Phil is timeless, so he's just introducing Bill Murray to how he lives, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Punxsutawney Phil has been around for centuries. Groundhog's Day has been celebrated in America for centuries.
Yeah,
it's always had Punxsutawney Phil, so clearly he is immortal. At least in the movies terms. Do you think that'll be a thing? Like he finds out that no, it's not different groundhogs. It's all been the one.
Oh yeah,
that's like the secret of the town.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a conspiracy to it, or is it just like everyone here knows that?
It's a myth.
It's a myth.
Yeah.
It's only a select few know.
I was gonna say
the Punxsutawney Phil chosen.
Probably.
Do they wear robes?
No.
Okay. Now, okay, so how do you think he has to get his life together?
Good question.
Yeah.
He's probably like that gif, like that SpongeBob gif, where it's the guy like driving in traffic, just sat at his desk, sat at home, and it's like, come to bed, honey. Yes, dear. Like he's just living a very like dull kind of life, and he's not happy. He's not really happy. He's just kind of going through the motions.
Okay.
And this groundhog's like, well, why aren't you doing anything to make it better? Mm-hmm. So
does the love interest not have anything to do with that, or
probably not?
No.
Nah.
Okay.
She's a kind of a side character in the grand scheme of things.
But she has nothing to do with him figuring out the true meaning of life or whatever.
Probably plays a part in it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You don't think it's going to be though of like, no, as a human, the right way to live is to bang that girl.
No, I don't think... I would hope that the movie doesn't go that direction.
It's an 80s movie.
Fuck, it probably will.
Yeah. I mean, that is the era of heteronormity. But maybe not. Who knows? Mm-hmm. I know. You don't.
Yeah, I'm. You know what? The fact that you said 80s movie, I'm counting on that to happen.
How many loops do you think he goes through?
327.
What makes you think that?
I picked a really out there number. If for anything, maybe there's just a time skip at one point where it's like after like, maybe the movie's like fifth time of repeating the same day. Mm-hmm. You get a little montage of this day, this is what happened on this day, and then fast forward to like day 320 something.
Okay. Yeah, I'm surprised just picking a random. I expected you to say 365.
Really?
Yeah, just like, he just experiences the same day for a year.
No, my reasoning was 300's a decently large number without being too obnoxious, and 27 is my lucky number.
Okay. Weird thing to base that off of.
But, I know, right?
Yeah, so, okay, so we now know, thanks to Kat, through what limited cultural osmosis she's had and wild but definitely correct guessing, that this is a movie about a magic immortal Punxsutawney Phil who sees a reporter with his busy businesswoman love interest who's just there for some reason, and is not happy with his life. So he goes, I will ascend you for a limited amount of time, human. find a way to fix this all in one day. And he goes through 327 attempts before finally finding it.
This sounds ridiculous, and I love it.
Well, let's see how close to the mark you got when we come back.
All right, go watch the movie.
Weatherman Phil Connors is spending the day in Puxatawney, Pennsylvania. But Phil's about to find out he's not just stuck in Puxatawney.
Will you be checking out today, Mr. Connors?
Chance of departure today, 100%.
He's stuck
Groundhog Day!
in Groundhog Day.
I'm reliving the same day over and over.
Welcome back, everybody. So we have just right now gotten done watching Groundhog's Day. So your predictions.
Oh yeah, let's go through that.
Pretty much all of them wrong, except for the heteronormity.
Like, okay, so the groundhog, as predicted, got maybe 5 minutes, if at most, of screen time. Mostly just kind of panicking because it's about to die.
Yep. And driving a car.
That's not bad for a quadruped. You gotta check your mirrors, just side of your eye. Side of your eye. Don't drive angry. Don't drive angry.
Rita was not a busy woman. If anything, she was just kind of like this happy-go-lucky kind of person.
Yeah.
Very much the foil to Phil's personality.
Yep.
I'm trying to think, what else did I predict? How many cycles was it, by the way? Because you said you looked it up.
Well, that's the thing. There's a few different takes.
Okay.
Originally, the script was going to detail that he'd done it for 10,000 years. Then, in later treatments, Harold Ramis would eventually say that he thought it was around 9 to 10 years. But currently, people have gone into, being like, okay, so he learned how to do piano really well, even how to improvise on piano. That in and of itself can take up to 10 years. So, and he also learned some French, learned some Spanish, learned, a bunch of different poems, learned every single thing about this.
Learned how to do ice sculptures.
Ice sculpture, snow sculpting. Not to mention the fact that we're going to assume that, it probably took him years to get rid of all of the bad Phil things. Like stealing, driving drunk, or anything like that. So probably more along the lines of 30 to 40.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Because at first I was thinking well, maybe 327 was a little excessive. Because it's 6 more weeks of winter. When the first time the groundhog was oh no, 6 more weeks of winter.
Yeah.
I thought, it probably makes more sense that he lives 6 weeks of winter. But after a certain point when he started learning how to do all this stuff, this had to take at least a few years. Mm-hmm. Damn.
But yeah, so anywhere from 10 to 40 years.
Holy shit.
Another thing that's in the trivia, originally they were going to explain why he was in this.
Yeah.
There was going to be an ex-lover who had become a witch and cast a spell on him. I think it's better they left that out.
I think I prefer
that's just dumb.
I prefer the fartsy explanation. Basically, it's there's no explanation. This is just a story of live every day to the best of your ability.
I like to think it was a cursed alarm clock.
Then put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hill or mountain we can't climb.
That's what I think it was. Also, I'm just getting the trivia out here right now because it's kind of fun. This was filmed in our home state. It wasn't filmed in Punxsutawney, Philadelphia. It was filmed in Illinois, Woodstock, Illinois, close to Willamette. So, yeah, this is our place. Apparently, there are plaques in the town where oh yeah, here's Ned's Corner where the Ned scenes were filmed, and
Phil Connors, Ned.
here's a plaque that says Bill Murray stepped here.
It was funny because with Willamette, when he was at one point when Phil's of course this is a big deal for them, they're Hicks, where it's
Accurate.
Which Willamette is pretty close to Evanston,
Yeah.
which is still pretty much kind of considered Chicagoland.
Yeah, but, you know, according to Chicagoians, which are the only Illinoisans that Hollywood knows exists, those would be hicks. Now imagine where we are.
I mean, I have a friend that lives in northern Illinois, and yeah, it looks a little more like this up north, but
Yeah, and apparently, there's a store that was in the background of a few scenes and tried to sue for lost business, but obviously that didn't work because, if anything, a movie showing your store would bring you more business, you idiot.
seriously.
But yeah, and originally this was going to have a different ending.
Really, what was the ending?
The ending was going to be that Phil would wake up on February 3rd with Rita telling him, something weird is going on. I'm reliving the same day. So Rita's now stuck in a loop.
Oh no.
Yeah, which is funny because I have a movie that does that.
Really?
Yep, tell them about what you thought generally and I'll go get it.
All right. So for this movie, I can say that I liked it quite a bit. At first, it was a little hard for me to rein in and really enjoy it at first because Phil was just such an unlikable asshole, like to the point where, like, even because don't get me wrong, I'm all for like the bratty or horrible person. I love that trope of bratty horrible person growing to be better. But even at the beginning, I'm like, he's just a ball of sunshine, ain't he?
Mm-hmm. Now, I forget. I know I handed it to you once, but did you ever read All You Need Is Kill?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. This is the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And this basically starts in that exact scenario of, oh, this person used to be in loop, now this person's in the loop. Mm-hmm. And that's it. So, kind of an interesting idea there.
Yeah.
In fact, I think everybody was like, oh, it's Alien movie mixed with Groundhog's Day. And I'm like, no, it's an adaptation of a manga.
Well,
but the manga kind of is that.
Normal people don't know manga.
Yeah. Dragon Ball. You mean that weird Fox movie?
Ooh.
But, yeah, so we start off in Philadelphia. And... in fact, I think I said Punxsutawney, Philadelphia earlier. I forget what state that's in. Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania.
Okay.
All
right, I was right.
I've been with my job. I've been learning.
Sure.
I feel I was actually kind of mad at myself that I couldn't remember where Willamette is because with my job, I'm looking at the Illinois map all day trying to find stuff for other people.
Yeah.
So I've gotten to know the state a little bit better.
Our map maker friend Oxy is having a heart attack with us in our geography failings.
We don't even know our own country.
Just like anytime I try to do math, my math teacher friend Lindell is somewhere having a stroke. Someone's fucking up. But yeah, the movie starts with Phil being a weatherman. And a pretty decent weatherman. He's having fun with it.
Oh yeah, I when I saw that he was having fun with it at the beginning, I'm like, there's no way that this is a national station. This is a local station.
Well, I've seen some weathermen on like more like not necessarily national stations, but like not local stations. You know, they handle a region of counties, and they'll have fun with it too. So I think it really just depends on the news anchor.
Yeah.
And in fact, I've even seen some like stuff on national news stuff where it's like it's much more rare, but they'll have fun with it just because, goddamn, they do this every day.
Well, you know what? Now that I don't live with my parents and don't have cable TV, I don't watch the news. The morning news is not even nowhere near as much. Like never.
I watch the news the same way I watch NASCAR races. I look at the compilations of bloopers. Because I'm sorry, maybe I'm a psychopath, but anytime I'm seeing a race, I'm like, crash, crash,
oh,
crash,
no.
crash, crash.
Oh no, that my dad says that too. He's like, why do you think I watch this? I watch it for the crashes.
I want to see destruction. That's why if somebody was like, hey man, you want to go to a NASCAR race? I'd be like, nah. But if somebody went, hey man, you want to go to Demolition Derby? Hell yeah. Want to go see monster trucks? Fuck yeah. I actually have done that.
I think you did mention that before.
Yeah, but it was like an enclosed, covered arena. Mm-hmm. So by the end of it, I felt like I was both high and dying from the exhaust. Just having nowhere to escape. Just like, oh. But anyway, so he is being charged with, because it's sort of a weather-related thing, he's being charged with going over to Punxsutawney to see the groundhog thing and report on it. Do the location stuff. And he's really butthurt about it because it's like, oh man, if I do this, it's going to show that I have no future. And I'm like, as a newscaster? If anything, I feel like an on-location news reporter has a lot of career opportunity. I mean, people who report from the White House are on-location reporters. People who are reporting overseas shit, they're on-location reporters.
He's probably thinking along the lines of, oh, I'm reporting this stupid, silly shit. They'll never take me seriously.
I suppose, but I'm just saying, that's part of the game, dude. That's part of the game of being a news guy.
Do your gigs, make your connections, move up.
Yeah. But I can also understand it because I've worked a lot of jobs where I feel like I'm not doing anything important, and it is kind of soul crushing. It's seriously,
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I always try to be very nice to people who I know are in those kinds of jobs, because that's probably the only reassurance they get, because they ain't getting it from their employers.
Oh, hell no.
The employers just see them as employee number 2257.
Yep. I know. And a lot of the time with cashiers, I'll tell them, if they accidentally fuck up something, I'll just be like, no, it's okay. I was on the other side of the register. I get it.
Oh, yeah. Anytime I go through a drive-thru, because I'm kind of a picky bitch. Anytime I order something, I'm like, no this or this. If I order a drink, oh, could I have this? No ice and stuff like that. And if they, repeat it to me and it's all right, I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you very much. Sorry for being picky. Just to reassure, I know that's, I know I'm being a bit of a bitch. I appreciate you dealing with me. But yeah, so yeah, he goes down with new producer Rita, who's a redhead, attractive, and her name is Rita. So I'm like, yes, those two are going to bang.
That's the love interest. Immediately when she was playing around with the green blue screen thing, mm-hmm. I'm like, she's and he's looking at her. I'm like, oh, she's totally the love interest.
I've actually done that blue screen thing.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was in middle school, because I think it was for when I was in choir. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that would have been middle school. We took a trip to the local news station, and while it was a commercial break, they were showing us how the blue screen worked, and everybody, most people were just like, and I actually mimicked what the guy had done. I was like, so we've got a cold front moving in from the east, and blah 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 and blah 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 blah. And the weatherman was like, how did you remember that? I'm like, you just said it. Hasn't been that long. For a second, I was like, oh, maybe I want to be. Nah. Nah, never mind. Though it does look like it could be one of the more fun parts of being a news anchor, especially because it seems like you can have a bit more fun with it, and also you're not the one who has to be like, a child died today.
Yeah.
Anyway, this puppy.
Yeah. See, I feel like weatherman or sports guy would be the more fun ones, because the sports one, you can kind of make fun of your own home team. Be like, ooh man, that was a rough one. You're staying on lighthearted You're staying on either a very lighthearted topic of competitive sports, or you're just doing small chat with the weather.
No, what I want to be is the guy they call on during the holiday season to tell them what the new happening toy is going to be.
Oh, that would be fun.
That's what I want to do. Yo, look at this shit. All right, first off, obviously we got to get to the video games first, because that's what people actually play with nowadays. We got Assassin's Creed 80. Real cool. Plays just like every other fucking one since 2. Anyway, then we meet camera guy. Larry.
What a sleazy name for a sleazy guy.
Yeah, he's not that much better than Phil, but he's just nicer enough to be able to fucking dunk on him.
To be able to get away with it.
Yeah.
Until the end, when he starts to be kind of weird.
Yeah, well, because Phil starts becoming a better person, and it's just because of that, the roles have kind of flipped, where now Larry is more obviously the sleaze in comparison.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they go to Punxsutawney. He wakes up that day, does all of his shit, tries to get out, but a blizzard that he had hoped / predicted on his weather station would blow over them. And he was like, he's just so up his own ass that he thought, well, I said it, therefore it will happen. Comes in, catches them off guard, and makes them turn around. And then the loopy starts.
Haha, weatherman wrong.
Yep. But yeah, the loop starts, and it's February 2nd again.
For the second time.
Yeah. And, of course, that whole time he's just kind of fucking being like, no, this can't be right. This can't be right. What? No. And then February 2nd happens a third time, and by this point he's like, okay, this is real weird. And he starts to play around with it.
After...
Gets a booty call.
Doesn't get any actual help from the producer, doesn't get any help from a psychiatrist, so next best thing is to get some advice from drunks that said, oh, well, we would just do whatever we want.
Yeah.
What would you do if you were stuck in one place and every day was exactly the same and nothing that you did mattered? That sums it up for me.
It's like, oh, well, nothing would ever matter because, you could do anything. You could get away with anything. And it's like, okay. And he just starts doing crimes. he just starts doing crimes with the capital K.
Just becomes the worst times 2.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm gonna steal shit. I'm gonna, womanize. I'm gonna...
Phil? Ned? Bam!
Yeah. And that goes on for a while. And he starts to try to, use his newfound uncontrollable time powers to learn shit about Rita, and starts doing it like a fucking visual novel speed run.
Just reloading the save over and over and over.
Yeah. I honestly wonder if, every time he fucked something up, he just was like, excuse me, and just, went back home to wait.
That thought did cross my mind later.
Yeah. But then it just has a montage of him constantly failing because he's just not a good person.
Yeah.
He's not genuinely a good person, so Rita doesn't want anything to do with him.
She catches on to that shit.
Yeah, just constantly smacks him.
You would think he would have gotten the memo when she, there was a line she said, basically, you've been setting all this up. He should have gotten the smack hit then, oh, this is wrong.
But the thing was, it was so set in on how he was, because this was 93. I think in the preamble I said it was an 80s movie.
Yeah, when we saw it was 93.
I was like, huh. Okay, that's a little bit it's a little bit more recent than I thought.
It's as old as me.
Yeah. I wasn't even conceived yet.
I was
You old bitch.
Was I alive? Groundhog's Day. 1993 film.
Were you born in 93?
Yes.
Then no, because it's February.
Oh, it came out in February.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That
holiday movies usually tend to come out around that holiday.
You know what? Fuck a fucking course. Okay, so I was.
You were almost there.
I was getting there.
But yeah, so he's it's so inlaid in him because he's kind of still that prototypical 80s guy, self-centered, the me generation thing. Where he thinks, no, I just have to do it better and then I get what I want. But no, son, this is the 90s now. This is the 90s now. Even by 93, 90s movies are starting to become 90s movies. But anyway, so after that, he gets kind of depressed. Tries to take out Punxsutawney Phil because he assumes that that's what's doing this.
The poor thing.
Yeah, Punxsutawney Phil is just screaming. Which, by the way, apparently the groundhog bit Bill Murray a good amount of times. I mean, the bites were so bad that he had to get anti-rabies shots.
Holy shit.
And it's like, damn, that groundhog does not like you. But yeah, so he runs off with the groundhog and drives off a cliff. And this is where I start to be like, the camera guy's kind of a fucking dick too. Because it's Rita's there and being like, oh my god, a human that I knew just died. And the camera guy is just like, I'm sure he's fine.
He might be okay. Well, No, probably not now.
Waka waka. I'm like, a man just died. Then Phil is like, damn it, it didn't work. Maybe if I toast her in bathtub. Maybe if I get hit by a car.
What?
Maybe if I jump off.
Jump off a building.
Put your little hands in my... Damn it! So, and then he is just like, I am a god. I couldn't die even if I wanted to. I am a god. Proves it to Rita that at least something weird is going on. And
By just going around the diner and telling everybody's life stories.
it's like, this woman regrets getting engaged. This girl wants to see Paris. That dude's gay. And the gay guy's like, yeah?
Well, who's that?
This is Tom. He worked in the coal mine until they closed it down.
And her?
It's Alice. Came over here from Ireland when she was a baby. She lived in Erie most of her life.
He's right. How do you know these people?
I told you, I know everything. In about 5 seconds, a waiter's gonna drop a tray of dishes. 5, 4, 3,
nuts.
2, 1.
He proves that all this shit's going on. And Rita makes him think like, oh, well, like, you know, you might see this as a curse, but other people might see this as a blessing because it gives them a ton of time to, like, do a bunch of different shit on the same day, like, utilize it to the best of their abilities. And he goes, huh. And then it stops being about, like, what can he get out of other people, and it's just like, all right, what do I have around me to better myself? So he, like, starts reading, starts learning piano, tries to save an old guy and fails.
Yeah, that was sad.
Bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that kind of sucks. And, like, I feel him on that one, because if I was in that, I'm like, no one dies today. No one fucking dies today. I will save everyone. And then, you know,
Oh no.
6 o'clock. Okay. Today no one dies, including me. Well, that's weird. There wasn't a lightning storm on any of the past. Yeah, so he tries to do that and can't do that. But he, like, you know, he is trying to be nicer to everybody, trying to help out where he can. You know, and there's this really funny scene where saves a kid when he's falling out of the tree. It's like, what do you say? What do you say? Fucking, you little brat, you never thank me.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Maybe. I just love that. Especially because that's set up because you can see him earlier on when he's trying to save the old guy with a broken leg. Mm-hmm. So you see what happens if he's not saved.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to this point, when he's starting to become good Phil, like, what do you think about, like, that and the lead up to it?
It's, you know, it felt very quick to me for some reason. Mm-hmm. I think it's just because he had that realization and we were already in this, like, we've already been just doing, like, a cycle by cycle in, like, 30-second increments. So it went pretty quickly of him getting up to speed and not being an asshole.
Yeah.
So it felt quick, but looking back at it, I'm like, oh, it's natural progression. It makes sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Any notes that were funny?
Beforehand, I'm like, I'm going on record right now to say that Phil does not deserve Rita, LOL.
Okay. Well, what about at the end? What about ending Phil?
Ending Phil was a lot better. I still, again, probably because it's a Hollywood movie. It's like, let's live here. I'm like,
I don't think he was serious.
Well, not serious, but like just them having like a seemingly close relationship, despite the fact they really only had the day.
Well, from Rita's perspective.
Rita's perspective.
We don't know if he told her in that cycle.
We don't, but I'm assuming if we don't see it, then it didn't happen. I would hope. I would think.
We didn't see most of the piano teaching.
Yeah, we didn't, but we knew that was happening.
We didn't
have any indication that she was told at the end.
Until Ned said it in the last cycle, we didn't know that he bought insurance. Like there is stuff that is just, we didn't see him gathering any of the information off the guys except for Nancy. Mm-hmm. Like, and also I'm just like, How many other people in the diner did he fuck?
Yeah.
How did he find out that guy was gay?
See, I'm just assuming it just was a conversation over coffee or something.
That's not as funny.
I know it's not, but again, the cat thinks like if I'm gonna get to know somebody, if I'm reliving this day over and over and over again, if I'm gonna get to know everybody, I'm just gonna spend the whole day with them, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Don't you ever get tired of being so goody-goody? Don't you just want to go fucking crazy? Because I can tell you right now, it's disturbing how much I would be like Phil in that scenario.
Oh.
Like, I know I would probably want to do better quicker, but fuck yeah, I'd steal some money at least one of the times. Fuck it.
You would
I'm not really stealing the money. It'll be back tomorrow.
I know. I could see you totally wanting to have some fun with it.
Yeah. I'd fucking, like, steal some clothing, make a costume, call myself Il Magnifico.
No, I'd probably end up more along the lines of depressed Phil that tries to kill himself, because for me, I would just feel so alone.
But yeah, so like, finally, like he starts actually being better, starts being considerate, and Rita actually notices this and is able to tell, and is like, wow, that's, that's pretty cool. And there's that sort of, signifier that, it kind of helps to act as like almost like symbolism that he's earned Rita's respect truly, because she's willing to outbid everyone else to spend time with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I feel like that probably is kind of like, a bit of a signifier that he has improved himself and has been worthy to, have time and or money, because time is money, invested into him by someone else.
Yeah.
So I do wonder if like that's kind of the idea there. Mm-hmm. Time is money, so money invested is time invested.
See, I literally never would have thought of it that way.
I just did.
Scott, your brain is something.
Yeah. I mean, look, when you watch a lot of movies and read a lot of stories, you start to get the hints and your brain starts to think about it, which is why it's good to do a lot of narrative stuff, because then you get to think about it and it goes back into the things that you work on. We are content creators, so...
Fair.
Yeah. I'll one day teach you how to actually hold a camera. But
like all things, it takes some practice, man.
Yeah, but so yeah, and like nothing happens between them. They're just kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
And actually having a good day and all this stuff, and then the end of the movie comes and it's February 3rd. And he's just like, it's the 3rd! Rita, it's finally the 3rd! She's like, what?
Right?
Oh, I've never been so happy to see you tomorrow. You there, boy, what day is it? Oh, it's after Groundhog Day, sir. Go and buy a goose. Take it to the Cratchit house.
But yeah, he was just so happy to see snow on the ground when he woke up.
Yeah. So what did you think of the movie?
I liked it a lot. I think it's one of those, I would say if I were to watch it again, it would definitely be more of a background-y movie, like during the time.
That's becoming a trend.
I mean, it was good for a watch, but I can't see that me wanting to watch it over and over and over again. I didn't like it that much.
It's just funny because like I think the past 10 podcasts, at least 6 of them have had that. I'd watch it in the background.
Well, we're going through a lot of Christmas movies.
But still.
Besides Die Hard.
Well, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, excuse you.
Well, I mean, besides like the background, no, because Die Hard was not.
Well, because Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was also like that.
Yeah.
It's very funny because I guess that's just kind of how you re-experience movies. You're just a background watcher. Meanwhile, like ever since I was a kid, it's just like, I liked that movie. Time to rewind it and watch it again immediately.
Well, like I could see myself.
Same thing for music for me, honestly.
Like
I'll run a fucking song into the ground. I like this song. Time to listen to it until I'm sick of it.
Oh my god, Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. How many times have I heard you blasting that shit as you're driving back into the apartment?
Look, it's not my fault that it comes up on every single Pandora station I have.
Because you like it on every single Pandora station you have, probably.
But I'm not the one bringing it up. All right, I'll have a fucking station that's the band Patent Pending and it shows up. Or here's one that's Panic at the Disco and it shows up, which is the one that I think makes the most sense. Mystery Skulls, it's gonna show up on there. Daft Punk, sure, why not? They collabed once. Fucking a station based on the main song from Wolfwalkers. Yeah, it'll be on there. Why? I don't know. The rest of it's Celtic. Don't know. But it's like, oh man, I'm gonna listen to some classical instrumental. Oh, Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. Weird.
And I think it's just like, it's a me thing that like, it's like things, only a few things are actually able to grab my full ADHD attention. So like I will sit down for the sake of the podcast and watch these movies because I do want to experience them more, and I'm going to give them a fair shot once, which is already kind of out of my own desire to want to do that. But I don't know, it's just I noticed like towards more the actiony side, I'm like, oh yeah, definitely I would rewatch that. I would actually give that my full attention and rewatch it again. Like Die Hard, the Indiana Jones movies. I would sit down and watch those again. But for more like low-key films, it was a fine watch. I wouldn't mind if it was playing again, but I wouldn't give my full attention to it because I already did.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. But yeah, it's just very interesting. Also on the Weeknd song, it doesn't help that it's like a very much matching aesthetic to everything I've been into recently, like synthwave, neo 80s futurism, like vaporwave. Just like give me that good synthesizer music. I want it in my face. But yeah, like I don't know. But yeah, I think Groundhog's Day is a weird movie for me because every time I've sat down and watched it, I've enjoyed it. But it's also a thing where I'm like, man, that when I'm just thinking about, do I want to watch it? I'm like, isn't that movie kind of long? Like
it doesn't feel like
it
was like what was it on like an hour 40 something minutes? Yeah,
so it's a decent sized movie, but I think it's just because like it starts out kind of slow. It starts out very slow, and I always am just kind of squirming around that area. But then once you actually get into it, it's like, okay, no, I'm good now.
Yeah.
So it is. I think to me, it probably would also be a background watch thing, but it is just interesting that, you know. I
mean, you were kind of on your phone while you were watching it.
That's me on every movie ever because I can multitask.
Yeah, that's
self-appointed can't multitasker.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Two opposite ends of the spectrum here.
Yeah, I get that from my mom. She'll be like engrossed in Breaking Bad, but also have her phone and her laptop.
When I try to separate my attention, I can't even like pay attention to a conversation if there's a conversation going on in the background. It's so bad.
Yeah, which is so crazy to me because I'm like, I would think that would have been a skill that you just learned from the cafeteria growing up. Like, you know, did you not talk to anybody during lunch?
No, I did.
Yeah, so you always have to siphon out the noise in the background.
Yeah, it was hard and it never got easier.
Honestly, I had the exact opposite problem where I did it too much and I wouldn't hear any of the background. And then like suddenly a conversation would stop and my ears are like, okay, I don't have to filter it out anymore. And it just, and I'm like, whoa, when did everybody start talking?
Yeah, no, it's just unless I'm in a more like quiet area, then it's really, really difficult for me.
I wonder if that just means that you on the spectrum of like sensitivity to overstimulation, if you're just higher up on that.
Yeah, that's what I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, like that also would fit with the fact that you're constantly cold. You're just very sensitive to cold.
I am a very sensitive human being.
Meanwhile, I could get stabbed in the arm and I'd just be like, well, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Stop that. You know, somebody could try to like squeeze my fingers together to break them, and I'd just be like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Is that supposed to hurt?" No.
You wouldn't even be like halfway squeezed on my fingies before I start crying.
Like, what are you doing? Wait, don't you know my nerves are dead there? They never were alive. They're just dead. What are you doing? I'm literally doing it right now. Kat, how hard is one of my fists shaking to try to crush my own fingers?
It is jittering quite a bit.
Yeah. Didn't feel a fucking thing.
All right.
But anyway.
Do we have anything else to add to Groundhog's Day?
I thought the woman playing Rita was pretty attractive.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very pretty.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't really know. It's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun movie. It's a movie.
It's a Bill Murray movie.
Yeah, it is interesting because like this is a protected movie from the National Film Registry.
Oh yeah, you
like,
did mention that.
This is protected, and everybody's like, oh, this is one of the greatest movies of all time, and I'm like, yeah, it's okay, it's fine. But then again, I'm also the person who, anytime, you know, like a film student is like, oh my God, Citizen Kane. I'm like, yeah, that movie is boring as fuck. It's like, what do you mean it's boring? Oh, it's also pretty pretentious. Oh, my sleigh. Woo. Fucking grow up. You know, it's not that deep. Oh man, this guy longs for the simplicity of his life when he was a child. So he's any person.
Any human being.
Yeah, any person on the goddamn face of the earth. Nah, I'll stick with Emperor's New Groove. But yeah, so I think that's it for us. Kind of a short episode today. You know, I mean, well, not short. It's almost an hour long. But not to mention, I'm going to be putting clips into this because it's not one of the Dragon Ball episodes. So it'll probably be over an hour. But compared to some of the shit we've been doing recently.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I don't know if this just means that we're getting better at communicating this without rambling as much, or if the movies just are like more like, yeah, you just kind of see it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we still got the rest of the year to keep doing podcast episodes.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, and until, you know,
I think
Dyslexia 2012 kills us all. 2021, flip the letters. Dyslexia 2012.
Oh God, don't give them more.
Oh, I'm not the one who started that.
Oh, I know, but still, don't spread it.
Mayans were dyslexic. Uh-oh. But yeah, so yeah. You can catch us doing other videos. We got some Let's Play videos. We got some random videos. We got a travel video kind of vloggy thing where we took a trip to Home of Superman, Metropolis, Illinois.
Hoping to do more of those as things improve.
Yeah. Once this pandemic gets behind us, hopefully around June at some point, videos will start to release about a Disneyland trip. If not, we'll reschedule that shit because goddamn it, once we have it, we need a trip.
I'm thinking
and I
about
want to film it.
Since student loan payments are being put on pause again, which I'm like, oh, thank God, I don't have to put that in my savings now.
Yeah.
I might just start putting that money aside for a trip that we can go on that isn't Disney.
Yes, Euro Disney.
We're not going.
Disneyland Paris.
Okay, that would be definitely like
those are the
trip.
same thing.
We would have to that would be like give me 3 years to get get the money, the passports.
Get the money. But yeah.
I'm talking about smaller scheme of things.
Shanghai?
For fuck's sake, Scott.
Hong Kong. Tokyo. All of these are Disney places.
Fuck it. Let's go to Tokyo at some point. Next 10 years, we're going.
Ohio gamas. I think I missed a syllable there in that phrase. Ohio onegashimasu, maybe? I don't fucking know. I don't speak Japanese. I just watch anime. You know, like a fucking dork. But yeah, that's about it. You can watch all of that stuff at Kingdom of Geekalon, Kingdom of Geekalon on YouTube. We also have this hosted there. And sometimes we have, you know, little visual stuff. Like usually we have a picture on there that you can like look at that I drew. Sometimes if it's a special episode, I have like a After Effects kind of opening, like the Dragon Ball ones. So sometimes you can do that. And Then otherwise, I am MusicianWorks at Twitter. You can catch me. I don't really tweet all that much, but sometimes I share art, like my webcomic and stuff like that I just kind of do for fun. Not really on a schedule, but so when it gets done, I usually release it the next day around noon. And I also have an Instagram at the same username. I have a DeviantArt, but who cares? And, all that stuff.
If you feel like following my shit, I am Cat20. I'm Cat27 or something on Twitter. I can never remember my own Twitter stuff. Fucking rest in peace. I also do have an Instagram, Cat's Crochet Creations. I just kind of post things I'm crocheting, progress pictures when I can.
Eventually, she wants to start streaming that, and when that happens, we'll update you.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we also have a Twitter for the podcast, Out of the Ice Pod 1. And on there, you could, comment something that you would like us to add to our ever-growing list of shit that Kat has not seen. Or, let us know how we're doing. If you like the episodes, if you don't like the episodes, if you think we should change something, if you want to murder us, I don't care. Do the internet shit.
I think that's it for today. I'm Kat.
I'm Scott.
And we are Out of the Ice.